There's no future left if we don't fight this. It's the last secular empire. That's why it's called clay and iron. Without a new revelation of consciousness, man will perish with the earth. The relationships with the Most High God burns off all falseness of religions and substitutes a relationship with that gets rid of all the spiritual disinformation. That's the only way. That's what Yeshua HaMashiach was preaching. The gospel, the way. He was trying to teach us that we're his brothers and his sisters, not his subjects. And it says, and I'm going to just summarize this, I shall write my commandments on the flesh of your hearts. That's what God said. It was prophesied through the Old Testament and through the New. No man shall tell his brother or sister, know the Most High God, for you shall have a knowledge of the Most High God as the waters of the seas cover the earth. And relationship of the fusion of the Spirit being, knowledge and purpose, is the only solution that will save us and our planet. Thank you. It's a little bit late, but I'm going to take about I'm going to make 6 questions, and we can't have more than one from one individual. So we have 6 hands up, and I'm going to answer 6 questions. And do call into the radio show. It's on RBN and RBN Live. If you want to get a hold of me, you can also contact through Michelle at the 888 number 888-212-8871, or you can send a feedback to Nutramedical. But if you have suggestions for people on the show, do contact us. If you have friends that have classified information or important information or perspectives, do contact me. I'm always open, but I don't necessarily put everybody on because I'm led by my intellect and my spirit, and you need to be led by both. You have to have the 2 witnesses, a sharp intellect and a discerning spirit. And when you have both, you truly become a son of the Most High God or a daughter of the Most High God. Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, please. You mentioned that some powers try to destroy all crops and fields. My question is, this will destroy them too.
Yeah, I know. You can't see the logic. For example, if you look at the release of the avian flu, the fact is if you make vaccines, the virus keeps changing so quickly that unless you're using something like advanced scalar weaponry, they're not going to stop this. It's going to continue to mutate. It's like insanity. George Bush's squinty-eyed daughters are breathing depleted uranium too. George Bush breathes depleted uranium. These people are fools. They're indwelt by demonic entities. We have to face the reality that is hard for the regular population to understand, that demonic obsession and possession really does exist. But it exists in a way scientifically because people have to understand that the separation of science and spirituality is all based on ignorance. The real universe is a real universe. It's not just a imaginary archetype in your mind. It's a good way of coping with the nature of the universe. It is a reality. These beings really do exist, both in the physical flesh and on the astral planes, which is why all the higher level Masonic orders or the Black Dragons or the higher level Buddhist dark monks and so on, all of them are indwelt by demonic astral entities. Yep, go ahead.
Yes. Are there transdimensional beings who are on our side helping us?
Of course there are. Mm-hmm. Of course there are. There are very advanced civilizations and beings. They would call them angels. Angel means messenger of the Most High God. Now, for an ancient society 3,000 years ago, it's very hard to say to a shepherd that someone's from a specific star system or from a different time, space, or some when, not just somewhere. So it's very hard to explain to someone, but for our advanced culture, we should not be so naive to think that God does not have the sons of God. It says the Ben Elohim cried with joy at the creation of the earth. The fact is that we are a juvenile society about to walk, and they're all looking at us to see if we'll walk or die. And they're there trying to not interfere, but the angels are there. We might call them angels, like the angels that they mythologize through the Middle Ages, or they draw wings on them. But these advanced beings exist. Everybody's always known them. Back through the Middle Ages, right through the Middle East, they say if you have a stranger, you make sure you treat him well and you feed them, because you never know when he may be an angel. So, of course they exist. Everybody's known that. Anybody who says they don't believe it just hasn't read any history.
Are they creating and guiding the star children?
Well, when you're talking about the star children, literally, we as spirit beings make decisions as to where we are incarnated and where we exist. And when you're saying they're directing them, of course the angels are there. When you talk about guardian angels, some people had an intuitive knowledge, and even these other religions like the Catholics and so on, they understood, and the Buddhists, they knew there were positive, if you want to call it spiritual entities that are in harmony with the Most High God, that are of course trying to intervene. Why do you think the earth is not just total chaos? If it was, listen, with what I've been underground with these facilities and what I know is going on, the only way that we could even have this meeting tonight, and I could even fly my jet in here even though my other bag didn't arrive, is because there's angels trying to fight against it. I had so much opposition to come here. I traveled in 1999 to 42 cities in Israel, and through the 90s and before, cities all over the U.S. and Canada, and I've never had such opposition as trying to come here to speak today. And the reason is, we're coming very close to them signing the peace treaty that's going to partition Israel and the city of Jerusalem. And when they sign that peace treaty, count the clock, because the sealing of the sons and daughters of the Most High will start on day one of them signing that treaty, and that sealing will end at exactly 1,260 days. So you're hearing that today. If you go on my website, you'll pick up and you can see the first two chapters of the small scroll. The first chapter I received back in 1998. The second chapter I released in 2003. And there's 10 more chapters to be released. If you read that, you will read not the words of a man, but you read the words that were given to me by the Most High. And they're words that will speak to you and make you understand and cry for what's going on in our world. People are always looking for a technical answer. They want to be entertained with archaeology or pictures or artifacts. What they have to know is that they need to stop looking outside and start looking inside to their spirit, because if they ask the right questions, all of the answers are already in their spirit, because they're children of the Most High. And when they look and they call them star children, we're all star children. We're all star children. They're just starting to open up. They're like the bubbles in the bottle. Little children opening up their eyes. My little daughter with Down syndrome, she knew when my son's wife was pregnant. She just put her hand on her tummy and said, Naomi's pregnant. Naomi's going to have a baby. You know why? She's my daughter. I'm a medical intuitive. I can tell and feel people and help them thousands of miles away. I don't need to be with them. And the reason is, that's the nature of what we are. I'm not different. I'm the same as you. Those parts of my being have just been opened up. And what I'm trying to say tonight is, we are the sons and daughters of the Most High God. We have to stop being mechanistic, Cartesian men and women that are machines. We're not a biological machine. We're a supernatural super being. We are an eternal super being that needs to start facing that reality, or our civilization will die.